Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Critic Corp Reviews. Greeted by your host today, myself, Eric.
And this is Jordan reporting for duty.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Game of Thrones prequel known as House of the Dragon. Now,
And yeah,
Jordy, I know you're just itching to talk about it. I'll just let you step in, bud. Say your piece real quick.
no, I'm just gonna say we haven't seen it yet. This isn't us doing a review yet. I know a lot of people have seen the screeners.
Oh yeah, no, we're not funded like that. This is just us doing it for pure entertainment and joy. Hopefully we
Very.
can get there, but right now we're just like the rest of y'all and we gotta wait till Sunday.
So we're just gonna talk about some theories that we got, some hopes of things that we see. We're not too familiar with the books, but we
I
do
ain't read the books, folks. I'm sorry. I'm more of a visual person. You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So a movie is like a ton of pictures, right? Lots of words.
absolutely. We're gonna just jump right into this. So, House of the Dragon takes place what 300 years before Game of
Yep.
Thrones? You said
300 years before the Game of Thrones like era is portrayed. It's the Targaryen Civil War.
yes, which I am so excited for. When I heard that they were doing a House of the Dragon, I wasn't sure if they were gonna do it like the book. What was it? House of Fire or something. But
Oh, okay.
nonetheless, I listened to the audiobook of that one. It was really interesting, but it was more of like a history type book than anything. There wasn't too much of a story, but essentially, what's going on here is a brother and a sister both want to gain the Iron Throne, and the father is trying to have a decision in picking the next heir. And typically, it would just go to the son. But in this situation, Viserys Targaryen is going to try and appoint the daughter, which ignites the civil war between Rhaenyra and Daemon Targaryen.
Because a woman's not meant to sit on the Iron Throne, as we learned about in Game of
In
Thrones.
particular, a Targaryen woman.
Well, you know, we had Cersei, and that didn't really go that successful either.
Exactly. Um, so with this, we're gonna get to see a lot of the stuff that we heard about in Game of Thrones, like the Valerians. We get to see Valeria, I believe.
Which I'm pretty excited about, honestly. Like, I would love to learn more about like the Valerian steel, like why it was special. Like, maybe we'll find out like a little bit more about what made it so much more special than like regular
I
steel.
think it's because it's formed
The dragon glass.
with not with the dragon glass. That's a because the dragon glass or the Valerian steel could kill a White Walker.
Yeah.
I think the Valerian steel is just made with a dragon's fire. I think that was the explanation behind it. Because Valeria was like this. We saw it in Game of Thrones when Ser Jorah and
Yeah, and
when they
Tyrion were
yeah
going through and they had
exactly.
the stone men and shit.
But
Ooh, do you think we'll see stone men over there in Valyria?
I don't think yet.
That'll be before their time.
Yeah, I was gonna say with it being 300 years in the past, I think we'll get to see like some flashbacks to the fall of Valeria.
Okay.
Um, but it's still after Aegon's conquest. So after the Targaryen Empire eventually moved and took over Westeros. So I'm really excited to see, especially with the different houses, because we got the Lannisters coming back. Let me see.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
like to see if they're going to be coming up the same, like if their ancestors are the same way as they're portrayed in Game of Thrones, like with Tywin and everyone.
oh, absolutely. And even with like the Starks, just the
Yeah.
different houses in general, and how like even in Game of Thrones, a lot of their castles and stuff were decayed. I want to see them at like their high points prior to the entire war and everything.
Before dragons, bro. And speaking of that, by the way, I want to tell you my high point for this whole series is going to be all the dragons we're going to see. All right, I thought Game of Thrones did like portrayed them very, very well. So
We
giving
just didn't get to
that,
see a whole lot.
this is called House of the Dragon, and we're getting nothing but dragon scenes in this trailer.
I think they said that there's going to be 19 dragons in this first season alone.
That's
I'm,
beautiful. I'm
I'm
here
so
for all
excited.
19 of them, and I'll be emotionally attached to each and every single one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if it's a prick, I'm totally, that's my boy. Don't don't talk dirty about him.
We won't get to see the Black Dread, but we have seen the Black Dread skull in the trailers. Maybe we will from some flashbacks, possibly.
I think
Like,
we'll get a lot of flashbacks. We will maybe get some like foreshadow stuff and like some flash forwards,
mhm.
but I think because of how Game of Thrones was set up, it stayed very continuous through. Like, we didn't really get any flashbacks throughout, except for when Bran was doing his thing.
And I think another cool thing about this is it's called the House of the Dragon, not Game of Thrones. So they're going to be able to focus up on this specific house and the
Hmm.
history of it. And we've seen the different houses like going at it and stuff. We haven't seen when a conflict rises
I want to see how one family defends itself against all houses,
or since it's going to be the Targaryen Civil War
and
when
then
they
turmoil
separate.
inside.
Yeah. I think this is going to be fascinating. I'm stoked for this. You got Matt Smith, who's playing Daemon Targaryen, who was in Morbius. He also played Doctor Who. I always liked him in everything that he's been in. Um, the cast overall is solid. Patty Considine.
I thought they did a really good like casting for this. Everybody that we've been seeing in these series lately, the roles are cast very well.
I
And we
mean,
were
did you
just
see?
talking about for She-Hulk even.
Did you see who's playing King Viserys?
Yeah,
It's the Pope from Peaky Blinders.
I'm
I
excited, dude.
I'm stoked, man. Just being able to go to Westeros again after what feels like,
An eternity.
yeah.
I rewatched Game of Thrones like a couple months back, and it was just as good. The only problem, like I had my gripes with, were like season 8,
Mm.
everybody did. But I'm hoping because of what happened with that, HBO Max, if you're listening, you learn from your mistakes and you're not going to do that again and you're going to give a series its full due
And
because we wanted more.
we get to see Rickon Stark finally. Rickon.
Bro, I'm just everything about, I'm not even that like for the Starks at this point. I'm all Targaryen.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say,
I'm
man,
100% bought into the Targaryen family. Like I said, I was excited to see like Tywin's ancestors and shit, but
I'm looking at the
I'm here for the dragons and the silver hair folk.
I'm looking at the cast right now, and yeah, Aegon Targaryen is cast for one episode. So we'll probably get a flashback episode of Aegon's conquest and possibly the Black
Really?
Thread and a little bit more into the
It's a young Aegon Targaryen too.
yeah, Tom
He's a
Glencairn.
that like Tom
I'm
Glencarney looks like a baby. Like
I'm so stoked for this.
that's
This
like baby face.
between this and Rings of Power, and then we got that medieval movie coming out. It's a great time for medieval slash fantasy movies, man,
Oh yeah, it's
and
excellent right
shows.
now.
Um, I, I've been seeing a lot of posts asking what people are more excited for, House of the Dragon or Rings of Power. I'm split right down the middle.
You, you have people very divided on it.
I mean, look at the difference between the two. You got Game of
It's
Thrones.
two they're similar, but they're two totally different shows at the same
And
time.
and not just that, but they're in such different places. Like season 8 of Game of Thrones wasn't well received, but the Lord of the Rings movies are so widely beloved. And
All received through and through.
and I mean, don't get me wrong, like people have a bad taste in their mouth from the Hobbit movies, but people don't
I
talk
like the
about.
Hobbit movies.
I like the Hobbit movies too. I think the third one was unnecessary. I think they should have just combined, did a 2 movie arc. I think the entire third
They
movie
could have combined and
was.
shortened for sure, but I still enjoyed them. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought the second one was my favorite. The Desolation of Smog,
yes,
because Benedict Cumberbatch played a great Smog, or at least played the voice well. Um, but and then they're just in such different places, so it's really hard to say. But overall, I think the storyline and the like era that this is taking place in just lends itself to some really creative choices to
I
adapt.
think this will be better than Rings of Power. I know that's saying a lot, and I know that's putting a very brand on something we haven't even seen the pilot episode of yet. But
We've seen the trailers.
yeah, I just something about it, man. It tells me this is like they're gonna do what they did with Game of Thrones, but better.
I really hope so. I think
Because
that.
if they don't, then like at this point, you lost a lot of Game of Thrones fan. Like, good luck shooting a sequel to the Game of Thrones series.
Oh yeah. Um,
Like, if you flop on this, then you lose too many folks. That's it. Because no one's gonna want to keep putting in all that effort to see a show end badly.
oh, I can't wait to discuss this one every Sunday. And yes, we are going to be doing this every
Yes,
Sunday.
these will be weekly videos. Well, as long as they keep coming out weekly.
Between this and Rings of Power, we're we're gonna try and do a day of, no guarantees.
It's late, folks. Like, look at when we're doing this one. If you don't know, we're doing this at 1 a.m. right now. All right. We're just here trying to put out content for you. Okay. That
And
way
love
we
and
can
pleasure.
get as
We don't
much
do
out
this for
as
you
we
guys.
can.
We don't do this for you guys. We just have fun doing this.
Yeah. We're here for fun, but we want you guys to like hear what we have to say. Like this kind of stuff. Like, we could talk about this for our health, you know? It's kind of what we're doing if you're not
I
listening.
was gonna
So
say,
click the like and subscribe button while you're here and
oh,
get us a good follow in, okay? Because, like Jordy said, we're going to be doing this weekly and we'd love to hear your feedback. If you want to see something different, if you have a different point of view than us, tell us about it. If you're expecting something different from this show, or you think I'm totally wrong and Ring of Power is going to be better than House of the Dragon, all right, talk to me about it. Persuade me otherwise. I'm here for it. I know Jordy would like to get challenged now and then.
yeah. I the other thing I really do want to see, um, is the Dance of the Dragons,
Ooh,
which it's basically just a battle between the brother and sister with dragons.
that's
But
gonna be. They've already led up to like all of that. I think with the scenes that we saw the dragons flying around, that could have been a dragon on dragon fight scene.
and the thing with this is the dragon scenes were so well shot in Game of Thrones, and the only time we got to see dragon on dragon fights was during the Long Night episode,
Yeah, with the
which I will
Ice
say,
King dragon.
was still my favorite episode of season 8, no matter what I thought of
Seeing
season
that
8.
eye open blue was, well, I knew it was coming, but I
Oh, it was
still
heartbreaking. It was
uh
heartbreaking. Between that and what was, man, it's been a little bit since I've watched Game of Thrones. What was the one that got shot down after that episode? Episode 4 of season 8.
Rhaegar.
Yeah. Oh, I got too emotionally invested in those dragons, man.
I'm telling you, I'm not ready for 19 dragons because 19 dragons aren't going to make it through to the end of the season. So
I
I'm
mean,
gonna I'm gonna lose one of them at some point. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna
oh,
cry.
we're gonna lose
Yeah,
a
I
lot
will be
of
able to
dragons.
watch these people cut other dudes' heads off, but you're gonna kill a dragon in this show, and you're gonna see me shed a tear, folks.
How many dragons were left when Game of Thrones started?
When it ended, one.
Started.
There
Started
were three at the beginning.
in eggs.
Oh yeah,
So how many dragons do you think will be left by the end of the series?
but this is 300 years earlier.
But don't forget, dragons live a long time.
Yeah, so I'm assuming like we'll probably see the last of them. They showed an egg though.
They
So
did.
unless that's the same egg that like Danny gets, that like gets fossilized, then I got to assume that another dragon's born.
Yeah. But I think
Yeah.
that's gonna just about wrap it up for us.
Yeah, that kind of does it for us, folks. We
I was
can
gonna
just ramble
say
all night.
we'll be back talking about this on Sunday. So what do you guys think is gonna happen with House of the Dragon? Are you more excited for this or Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power? Just leave a comment below
Let
and
us
let us,
know.
yeah. Like and subscribe, do all the bullshit. We need your help. We need to grow this channel.
Yeah, we need to build
Um,
this algorithm up, okay? Because it doesn't work without you people.
and without the views, we're not able to build up our quality of video as quick. As soon as we're able to build this up, we can get that to you faster. So yeah, thanks for listening and have a good one.
We appreciate y'all. Have a good night.